Adam Christ from MyMMANews.com, being joined by Brandon Maisonet. He has taken on Ethan Geffen. He is one half of the main event for Freedom Fighter Promotions 5 in Yonkers, New York, taking place at the Grand Roosevelt Ballroom. We are just a few days. It's going down Friday, April 29th, and this one is for the Freedom Strap. Before I get into it, I got to thank my guest. Brandon, how are you, brother?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing great. Sawadee Kap, and to all the Muslim brothers and sisters out there, Salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak, and I hope you guys are able to get Layla to Qadr to these last 10 days, inshallah. And yeah, and thank you for having me today.
It's my pleasure, man. As I told Rami, whereas I'm not a Muslim, but I do like to give all the credit and share the respect to all my brothers across the world. So I wanted to wish you a Ramadan Mubarak and just a happy rest of your holidays, brother.
Thank you, my brother. Really appreciate that. That means a lot.
Oh, man, before we get into it, we got fight night in just a couple days, and it's going down for the strap. So I got to ask you, how are you feeling just a couple days before fight night?
Alhamdulillah, I feel fantastic. I'm already pretty much on weight right now. I'm literally fluctuating, not even 2 pounds away. So
not even 2 pounds away. Now, all right, I wanted to just jump straight into this just because I know it's nothing you want to think about while you're in the midst of it. So I wanted to say you're celebrating your holy month, and a lot of my Muslim friends, oftentimes they don't take fights during the holy month because they have to fast. The training schedule doesn't line up with that kind of schedule. Whereas you are not only fighting, you're fighting in the main event. You're fighting for the title. So I got to ask you, how are you managing that schedule, brother?
Well, alhamdulillah, Allah is Akbar. Allah won't give you more than one can bear. So with that being said, I understand. I leave it with the Creator. Alhamdulillah, this was actually has been one of the best fight camps in that sense. To be honest, I've been making sure I wake up, eat my sahoy, have my food in the morning, and then I start my day, start my training. And the beautiful thing about fasting is that it becomes a different warrior spirit, because you are, one, closer with your Creator, and two, it gives you a different sense of strength. And there's many scientific studies that show that. So with that being said, I haven't felt so good and eaten so clean. In most of my fight camps, I always struggle during this time, and this time, alhamdulillah, has been one of the best times I had eating and fighting, training, because I'm sparring too. Like I just right now, right before we got on, I just broke my fast and made Maghrib. So alhamdulillah. So right now I'm actually kind of indulging into some coffee.
Well, you enjoy that coffee, man, and I'll make sure I do the majority of the talking so you can enjoy that coffee. So just a couple questions. Like I said, you're taking on Ethan the Wolverine Geffen once again, only this time it's for the Freedom Fighter strap. Now, you've taken on Ethan, the world strap, right? Not the national strap, the world strap.
World strap.
So, can you tell me, one, what this matchup means to you? Not only do you get to fight somebody that you've already defeated, now it's for the championship belt. Does it make it that much sweeter?
It really does. One, I have to respect the game, for we're not the same fighters, but I don't change my strategy. I don't change who I am. I don't do none of that. When I leave it with the Creator, I leave it with my crew, and my Abba has eyes that no one understands. My Abi. Now, with that being said, one thing about me is I'm fixated on me being the best version I can be. Because once the difference between amateur and pro is that, one, it affects your money. Two, you have to understand that it's not about how good you are now. It's how many least mistakes you make. It only takes one shot that can stop the whole fight. So you have to be that much cleaner, and your eyes have to be that much better. It's no longer, oh, I'm going to go in here thinking I'm going to just go and I'm going to kill the guy. Because a lot of amateurs go into it, especially in the very beginning stages, they go into, I know I'm going to hurt you. while you have someone who's trained and who's able to have control inside that ring, understand that I know exactly how I'm going to hurt you. I know exactly how I'm going to break you down. There's a different sense of mentality and a different kind of chess match that is being played now.
Wow, you are quite the insightful fighter, if I do say so myself. That mental strength, that mental fortitude, do you think that's one of your key assets as far as in your training bag, your arsenal?
Well, one thing about this is everyone goes into it, I'm going to kill my body, I'm going to kill my body, I'm going to kill my body. Yes, the way you train is the way you fight. If you don't train hard, you're going to fight every week. You have to understand that your body is your temple, but your mentality is everything. They're saying that your crew, your instructor, and the coaches and the people around you cannot give you. And that only comes from the creator himself. That is the mental fortitude and the capacity of intake.
Hmm.
Those two things, no one could give you. Those are two things that you have to mentally keep yourself strong and uphold on to make sure that you're able to produce and be the best version of you. Because you see, everyone goes into this, and this is why a lot of people don't understand Muay Thai. When you look at MMA and boxing, why the Thai fighters seal the ring? The sealing of the ropes is very important because that is understanding that this is between me and the person across from me. This is nothing personal, but we're testing our skills to show who is a more stronger warrior in there. This is martial arts. Martial, the art of war. People don't go and look into that. They look into the fact of just the warfare. But if you don't understand that you are fighting a chess match, you're going to get checkmate. And it happens to the best. But you have to go ahead and you have to understand that you're putting yourself at this time to make sure that you can showcase yourself to the fullest of abilities that you're able to be. And alhamdulillah, I was blessed to have a father. And this is one of the most important fights of my life because I'm only continuing the legacy. I went to World Titles as an amateur. Now it's the time to get it as a pro.
Now, I want to question you further on what you were talking about as far as sealing the ring, the lineage that goes into Muay Thai, the history and the respect that goes into it. That you were mentioning that some other combat sports they don't necessarily have. Oftentimes, you see a lot of let's just come up with a name out of left field, the Conor McGregors, the trash talkers, the people that they understand the sports aspect of it, but also they really emphasize on the entertainment part. And so oftentimes, I'd say more times than not, you never see that in Muay Thai because of that respect between the two fighters. Now, added onto that facet, Muay Thai is one of the most beautiful, striking concepts and arts that I've ever been able to watch, right? But with that said, because I feel like there's not many beefs, because there's not much drama behind it, sometimes that might be why it's a little bit behind as far as building up the drama, getting the fans that they want to watch two fighters kill each other. Muay Thai doesn't have that because they don't have the fighters that are talking back and forth. Do you think sometimes it's worth that trade-off?
Well, me personally, I feel is the most important part of the trade-off.
I agree.
Now, because you see, this shows you who's truly in love with the sport, and this is why a lot of Thai fighters, when they go and start learning their ground game, and they go into the MMA world, why they dominate so much is because they understand the level changes of the game. So it becomes a different aspect because their whole key of it is understanding the scientific method behind everything they do.
Hmm.
They don't just go straight into, I'm going to put A to B and hopefully get C. No, they have to understand A to Z so that they're able to spell out a word. And once they're able to spell out a word, they can start creating sentences. And once you create sentences, you can make a paragraph. And now I have a whole encyclopedia written down in front of you.
I love that analogy, dude. That just gave me goosebumps. You talking, bringing the alphabet into the mix, explaining it into a encyclopedia. Touche and good on you, my friend. Continuing. both of you and Ethan have grown. You guys have prospered since your initial showdown. Now, obviously, I don't want you to give your game plan away. Not that you would, but can you talk to me about your confidence entering the rematch to make sure that you go 2-0 with the Wolverine?
Well, one thing I say, Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest. So wherever Allah decrees, Allah decrees. But one thing about me, I make sure I tie my camel. So with that being said, you have to do the work as a person, as a human being. As much as you put all your faith, Allah won't grant you something if you do not put the work in it. You can ask all day, but if you're not showing effort, you're not putting no work and making sure that you secure your bag, you're not going to be able to achieve anything. And one thing about me, I'm not a talented fighter. I train hard. I am diligent. I study. I teach. I make sure that I do everything possible to understand my game. Now, understand that the light shines on the dog sometimes, but that's not my mentality. That's where I never go in. Yeah, one thing about me, and one thing that we say as Maisonets, win, lose, or draw, you're in for a rumble, and you're going to feel that Maisonet stamp. We're not going in there for anything else but for you to remember the placement that I gave you that day. And that is a different type of mentality. Now, everyone wants to just think about, oh, I want to win, I want to look flashy. No, my man, you're in a fight. You have to understand this is warfare. If you don't think malicious thoughts, the man across from you is, and he's going to try to hurt you. So you have to understand that this warfare, you have to display everything singly possible to impose your will, to understand that no, because no matter if I move left, right, front, or back, I'm going to get hit. And this is why tie pressures differ from any other kind of sport. Because at all times, we are always in front of you. And if you don't understand the art, you have to remember that a Thai fighter doesn't move back. They move back to set up. This is Muay Thai. And you have to understand this is warfare to its fullest of its abilities. There is no giving up. There's no mommy and daddy. There's no breaks. There's no one in between except you and the man in front of you. And one thing about me, I smile on impact at all times.
Man, I can continue this conversation all day. You just continue to give me chills. But I want to close it down. I know you got better things to do before fight night. So, if I can ask you for a bold prediction, how do you see yourself getting your hand raised at the end of the night with myself announcing that jet winner of the evening, that potential new Freedom World Champion? How do you get it done?
With Allah. With Allah. Allahu Akbar. And that's how I leave it. For everything good comes from Allah. If he chooses so, it will be so. And I guarantee you, and inshallah, it will be so.
Brandon, I really appreciate your time. Final thing I have for you, how can the fans keep up with you on social media and any sponsors you need to shout out or you would like to? Floor is yours, my brother.
Well, I'd like to thank Allah first and foremost. I'd like to thank my crew, Hamza Maisonet from Maisonet's Thai Boxing Gym, my uncle, the other half of the book, Rooster Muay Thai. I have to thank my friends, my family, Geo Lab. He helped me so much during my recovery because one thing about me, I train like a workhorse. Like I said, I'm not a talented fighter. I am a workhorse. So, and alhamdulillah, that you see that my will be imposed that day, and you'll see and raise my hand, inshallah. As for everyone else, you guys want to follow me, please do. Follow me on social media on my Instagram, Brandon_Maisonet. I also have a TikTok. I'm not the greatest, but I am slowly getting better, which is at the Purple Scorpion Maisonet. Sorry, no Maisonet. Just that goes with everything I am. For that's who I am. For Maisonet's Muay Thai, without the tripod, you don't have a solid foundation.
Understandable. My friend, it was an excellent time talking to you. Best of luck, and I cannot wait to see you on Friday evening.
Thank you. You have a blessed one. Sawadee Krap.